Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my video, and this video is obviously, if you've seen the title, it is about my starting issues with my car. So basically, I am hanging out at a shopping mall right now. Just finished shopping, got back to my car, tried to start it 15 more times, and nothing. Nothing. It's not cranking over, and that's like the biggest problem I have right now, is that my car is not cranking over. So I have everything working right now. My AC was working, but the fan is was blowing. It's still blowing if I turn it on. My radio works loud and clear. Everything on my lights work. It just, as if I turn it on, everything on the dash works, except it's not cranking over. So right now I'm trying to troubleshoot this issue, trying to figure out what it is, whether it's my alternator, my starter, some electrical problem, my battery. So here's the thing, I don't think it is the alternator. Reason being is that my car did not die out as I had it running, because the car was never turned on, and it was never turned on and it just died out. That wasn't the case. Alright, the car, it was off, and then I tried to turn it on and it wasn't turning on. Well, it's not cranking over. So besides, I've been working on this for like 45 minutes. Had somebody jump the car and it didn't start up. It was the alternator. If it was the alternator, this car would have jumped, cranked over. And then it would have died off once you took the cables off. That's normally how you test for alternator issues. So it's not the alternator that's the problem at all. It's not the alternator. So I know that for a fact at this point. Anyway, I had the alternator changed out like 6 months ago. It's virtually a brand new alternator. I'm not saying that brand new alternators couldn't have problems. But this one, in this case, that's not it. So I was thinking maybe it was the battery. I was shopping maybe like for an hour and a half. Thought maybe it was the battery. It's not the battery either, because all the electronics work and the lights are bright, even though it's sunny out. I looked at the light. The lights are bright, but if it was the battery, having cables put on it, it would have just cranked over. It would have cranked over. Didn't crank over. So I know it's not the battery, and changed the battery like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So batteries last like 4 or 5 years. Normally they could last longer. I have batteries that last like 6 years or whatever, but it's not the battery. So, but I did have this issue, similar issues like this last month. A couple of times last month, to be honest. I had the same issue. Try to turn it on and it wouldn't crank over. Everything seems to work, and did it a couple of times and it did crank over eventually, but this does not work like that. It's not working now because I tried it like at least 20 times over and over again, but I do hear a click. This is not my first issue with non-start cars, no start issues. I do hear a click every time I turn it. I do hear a click every time I turn it. Like 20 times I've heard a click, just click and then nothing. And at this point, the other two issues could be is the starter, or one of the fuses or relays, and I don't think it's the fuse or the relay. So I don't think it's the relay being that it's getting power through from the battery to the starter. It's getting power to the starter because I'm hearing that click. It's clicking. That's not the problem. Okay, could be the battery that's the problem. I don't know if it's the battery that's no. Could it be the fuse that's a problem? So basically, I do not think it's the fuse that's the problem. I've had fuse issues before where it caused the car not to start. Normally what happens is there's a main fuse. Once that pops, you get nothing on the dash. Nothing on the dash, nothing on the radio, nothing anywhere. It's just 0, 0, 0, nothing, 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 nothing. Like there's no electricity. It's as if the cables to the battery was taken off. So it's not. It's either that. If it's a fuse issue, it's either that, or you can crank it and it cranks over, but it just dies out immediately. I mean, but that could be caused by a couple of things. But I will say that one of the causes of that would be a fuse. Now, the reason why I'm going through all this troubleshooting is normally if the starter on this car was the original starter, I would be, I would be like, yeah, okay, it's probably the starter. But I got this starter changed out like 5 months ago, guys. 5 months ago, I had the starter changed out. 5 months ago on this car. And, I spent some time putting it in, taking it out, putting it in. Got the starter rebuilt from AutoZone. And I'm actually surprised that is the reason why my car is not starting. If it is exactly the reason. So, but, that's why I'm like troubleshooting all this stuff, because I'm surprised that it did this. I mean, the other times that it didn't start, it was like in the morning, when the car was like sitting the whole entire night, and I just assumed that maybe the battery was low or whatever. Maybe it was that issue. So, and it started right up afterwards, but not in this case. So basically, I bought a rebuilt starter, and the problem with rebuilt starter, if you guys don't know, is that, when they rebuild the starter, they don't actually rebuild everything on the starter. They just rebuild like the part that's broken. Like if there's like a little part that's broken, that's the part they replaced, and then they clean up everything else, and then the whole entire starter you bought has whatever the mileage of the car that it got taken out of. If the car had like 150,000 miles it got taken out of, that's how many miles is on that starter, except for that part that they replaced. It's an unfortunate thing, but it's a fact. Now, I could have bought a brand new starter, but brand new starter is like $300 instead of $140. So it's like twice the price. And I've had situations where brand new non-OEM starters have gone out on me. Now, OEM starters are original starters. I've had pretty good luck with used OEM parts from eBay, junkyard, or whatever. I've had luck with that. Haven't had much luck with, rebuilt stuff from AutoZone, Advanced Auto, any of these parts places. And one example of that is my alternator. Previous to changing that out, I had another alternator that was rebuilt, but this one was rebuilt also. I mean, the best situation for me is if I actually got an OEM part from eBay, a used OEM part from eBay or whatever. I mean, that would be the best situation, but unfortunately, that's, I don't have time to order it, and I only have one car, so this is the car I use. So I need to get it going as soon as possible. So basically, I've got one more thing to do. I mean, I could put a line to the starter to test it out. Put a line to the starter from the battery to the terminal of the starter itself, the solenoid and the starter and the motor itself. Probably not going to do that because it's just a pain in the butt to get to, and I don't really have a line on me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a crowbar and I'm going to start bumping it. I'm just going to start hitting it a little bit, see if that actually turns this on. And I'll keep you guys updated on that. Alright guys, so it's the next day, and I was not able to get my car started. Unfortunately, I was not able to get my car started. So I had to call AAA, had the car towed. Didn't cost me anything except for that AAA membership that I had, but it turned out to be the starter. It's a waste of time considering I bought the starter rebuilt 6 months ago or whatever, and I had to spend some time swapping it out. Went to AutoZone, got another rebuilt, swapped it out, complained to them, So there's nothing they could do it. It's already warranted. It's still warranted for like 1 year or whatever. I think it's warranted for 1 year. I'm not quite sure, but I got a new starter. I took the starter out, went to AutoZone, got another starter, and I was given one to replace that. Unfortunately, they didn't give me money for the time that I spent with my car not running and me spending time to take the starter out, put the starter in, etc., etc. It's a pain in the butt, but it is what it is with these situations, and there's really nothing that I could do about it. So best case scenario, like I said, is if I had a choice between getting another rebuild start from AutoZone or going to eBay and just buying a used one, OEM original part for this car, I would have done it, but I don't have the time for it. So, but that's my video. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please if you guys have any comments at all, please feel free to comment. All right, guys, that's all I got. I gotta get back to work, and I'm done. All right, guys, take care.